Dolla Dolla Bets podcast, your home to free money sports betting.
Right, Dolla Dolla Bets heading into April, almost the end of March Madness. Final Fours here, back from Lexington. Debo, Bobby Betts, Vegas for a little bit, right? So how was Vegas? How was Vegas, boys?
Vegas was good. 3 nights in Vegas. Didn't win money. That's how it goes. But I had a great time. A good laugh. Didn't really hit that many sports bets. Didn't do well on the tables, but had a good time.
Bobby, are you there?
No, I didn't make it to Vegas. I was in Arizona. Had a couple friends in town. We went to the casino and played some poker. Also had our fantasy draft baseball live, so I had a couple people here for that. That's what we did during the Sunday of the first weekend of March Madness.
Nice. Yeah, it was. Gotta say the games are pretty weak this year. No.
It's been
no real close games.
Shock and no close games. It's been one of the worst March Madness I've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw the 6 games, and really there was a couple good halves in there, but for the most part, it was blowouts.
It seems like more like March Sadness to me.
Yeah, I gotta say a couple of funny things from there. One, Louisville is an hour away from Lexington, and it's UK's home court, but it was just filled with red, and those Louisville fans came in there just like they owned the place, and they were just going nuts for about 30 seconds, and then they were sitting on their hands, and then they were heading for the exits early, and it was great because that meant more open seats the rest of the time. Like for the late games, there was nobody there. All the Louisville fans sold their tickets or just vacated. It was a pretty early exit for them for having the home game. And then for the last game, Tennessee is also pretty close. Tennessee's about 3 hours away from Knoxville to Lexington. Tennessee was playing UCLA for the late game. So we always get upper deck seats. And then for the second game, we move down. You just look at the section where the team is that played the earlier game, because it's usually, alumni or whatever. They only see their own team and then they always leave. So Creighton was just lost. And so buzzer goes, we're right behind the Creighton section. We move down there, Son and I, and see this row empty, and about mid-court, about halfway down the Creighton section. And I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, you leaving? And he's like, yeah, we're not coming back. So we start to go in. The guy behind me in the row is like, you can't do that. That's a bad look. That's a terrible look. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, you got to wait till we leave the stadium. I'm like, what do you care? So this Creighton Karen guy starts going off. And then the rest of the people in the row start joining him. They're all like, oh, you're ridiculous, man. You're an asshole. You fucking asshole. They're like, yeah. I'm like, Joey, I look at him like, what the heck? And the guys, I thought his wife was going to stop him. Then his wife starts yelling at us too. And then all these Tennessee fans start coming in because they're playing next. And they start sitting next to, we're all looking around like, these guys are the biggest losers ever, man. I've never seen fans that get so bent out of, they lose a game and they're blaming fans that are coming in after their game. I'm like, dude, I will never root for Creighton. They were the biggest losers, those fans. Every one in that section, just useless. So anyway, no more Creighton. Wow. No more Creighton. That was they cost me my parlay too in that game too. So I was equally pissed at them. But yeah, Creighton Karens from now on. They should change their nickname. And I see why Hurley was pointing to his ring when he went up there. But yeah, so that was my story with Lexington. We had a good time, had some good bourbon. Saw some decent games. It was a great venue though. As far as like the ushers, they didn't care if you moved down. It was a really cool venue. So I'd go back to Lexington again.
The ushers don't care, then why do you care? It's
right. What was that? And they left. They left like 2 minutes later. It's like, this is somehow going to bother you that somebody's coming in there because I didn't wait until 5 minutes until the next game started before you left because I need to feel sorry for you because you just, I don't know. Yeah, because Auburn just trounced all over them. Anyway, let's talk about our games a little bit. We had some good picks, Debo, and then we had the McNeese State upset, one of the few upsets in the tournament. We called that one. The little Aura, but the Aura quickly stopped going after a little while. That guy flew way too close to the sun. The manager there, he got his 15 minutes of fame and some. I saw him on a couple commercials too, but yeah, they were done. And then,
Yeah, he had a pretty so-so first round. Um, Not good, not bad, but I was hoping for less of a chalky tournament because I we picked a lot of upsets and that's how
yeah,
it should be. But I don't know. Maybe this NIL thing is kind of making everything chalk. Just a theory. I don't know. We'll see next year if the top teams do as well as they did this year. We got a Final Four with all one seeds. That's
I
only
know.
happened one other time.
Yep. All right. Well,
Bobby
we
Betts.
got some bets for this week, so let's see what we got going forward. Let's start with the Final Four. We got the Final Four has been decided. We've got Auburn. Um, a lot of people picked them. A lot of the brackets I'm in, I see Auburn as a team that a lot of people picked. Duke, a lot of people picked. So there's people chalking. Those two were definitely in.
We got
Houston
Houston
and Florida.
collectively.
I picked Florida.
We have Houston though
We have
collectively.
Houston in our joint bracket. I
Consensus
picked
bracket.
Florida in
Yeah,
mine. So yeah, not a lot of nothing strange there. I thought maybe Izzo might find a way to pull one
almost
off.
did.
Second half, he played well in the second half for every other game, but today they just couldn't hit from the outside, or I don't know, they were just didn't quite get it over that 9 points or 8 points. All right, so let's look at the first game. We've got Florida and Auburn. Florida giving 2.5. Debo, what are you thinking in that game?
I'm taking Florida minus 2.5, especially with Broom's status is unknown. If Broom does play, I might back off that bet, but right now I'm firing that bet because
Yeah, I
that
mean he
injury
came back,
is
he hit
not
that quick three, but he didn't look like he was full speed. He was
exactly. He's not
yep,
100%, so
yeah,
we'll see. He might have just came back on adrenaline too. So
yep. Bobby Betts, what do you got?
I got Florida as well. I'm just going to eat the juice. I think it's minus 149 on FanDuel when I look. So I'm just going to take the money line. I definitely think they win the game. I think it's going to be close. Should be a close game. So I got Florida on the money line.
I'm taking Florida laying the 2.5. I think Florida, when they win pretty big. They tend to cover and some. So yeah, if I'm taking the win, I'm taking the extra money there, laying the 2.5, and rooting for the Gators over Auburn in that game.
it's a squad ride.
Squad ride for the Gators. All right,
Love it.
let's move on to Duke laying 4.5 over the Houston Cougars.
I'm taking Houston Cougars plus 4.5. Don't feel good about it, but I had to pick something right now. You know what? I'd probably wait. I'd probably wait till later this week. You'll probably get them plus 5 or plus 5.5. Probably
Yeah,
a lot of
the money's
money.
going to be on Duke for
Money's
sure.
going to be on Duke, and a general rule of thumb: if you like an underdog, just wait, and generally you will get a better number. So I wouldn't pull the trigger on it right now, but I lean Houston for sure.
Bobby Betts, what do you got?
Same here. I know we have Houston in our bracket, but I think Duke's going to win the game. I'm going to take the Houston points, though. I think it's going to be close. I think Duke's going to win, but I don't think they're going to cover. I think it's going to be a really close game, a battle. So I'm going to take the Houston. Right now it's plus 4.5, but I agree with Debo. Wait, get a better line. But definitely taking the Houston points on that one.
Squad ride on this one as well. I'm with both of you.
Let's
Taking
go.
Houston and the points. I think Houston wins the game. I don't think Duke wins. I mean, Flag is amazing, and they even play well when he was hurt. So that's a great team, Duke is. But I'm gonna go with the experienced coach who's
Why
been
don't you
there
get a little
longer.
frisky and take the money line then, though, baby?
And Duke hasn't seen a defense like Houston, and not only their
Yeah,
defense, their offensive rebounding is a demoralizing stat right there. You can't get a defensive rebound, and these it's a demoralizing. It really is. It's demoralizing to a team when you just keep you can't get a board. So one of the best offensive rebounding teams and one of the best defensive teams. Duke has not seen a team like this year. It'll be interesting. It'll be a great game for sure.
Yep,
yeah.
it might be a
Hopefully we
little
finally
bit.
get a couple good
Go ahead.
games, right? That are actually exciting to watch. Maybe.
Exactly.
Hope so. Yeah.
I think they should be.
How many times do you
And
think they're gonna show Jim Dance in his Houston gear? Take the over under on that. I'm gonna go 6. A 6 on that, maybe.
That's a good
yeah,
6.5.
that's a good line. I'm happy you're on on my side on both these bets because I don't want to go against you.
It's been in Florida, especially. Florida's been taking you out. All right, I'm going to throw a couple player props from these games. So when I was in Lexington, I had a couple Auburn fans in front of me. Just needed a quick player prop before the game. I'm like, hey, give me somebody to put a player prop on. And they're like, take Chancey Johnson for over rebounds. And I think it was 7 that game. And, he first half, I think he had 4, and he came back and hit it pretty easily. Then I picked it every game the rest of the tournament, and the line's been lower and lower. Today it was 4.5 on rebounds for him, and he had that in the first. I think he had it. He had 4 in the first half. So his number's probably going to be around 5 or 6 rebounds. Take him. The other one, Will Richard, over 2.5 threes. He'll drain his threes. He's averaging about 3 a game, but in these big games, he tends to step up. Slow start usually, but then second half you'll see him drain a couple threes. So I think that's going to be a much higher scoring game for Florida. So take that one as well. So those are 2 player props in that game. All right, let's move on to MLB. Had a good opening day. At least the Red Sox won opening day. That was the highlight of the weekend. And then we're not going to talk about the rest of the games. For Rafael Devers, who apparently does not like being a DH because he's not playing in the field or really doing anything at the plate either. So might as well. I have as many hits as Devers does this season. I was at the Louisville Slugger Factory when I was in Louisville. That place is cool. If you get a chance, highly recommend that place. Pretty cool. On the side note. All right, baseball picks. I did not see any of those torpedo bats, though. I didn't see any Yankees cheaters in there trying to shave off some Costanza, shaving off some wood.
Maybe we just got some good hitters.
They're not cheating. They're not cheating.
MIT guys, they put the money in the right spot to, hire some guys that know how to make bats. So, hey, I had a hell of an opening day weekend. I mean, it was against the Brewers. I get it. Their pitching sucks, and Judge just went fucking monstrosity, but Jazz Chisholm joined the party, and Bellinger looks good. Goldschmidt looks good. All that money that we didn't give to Soto is very well allocated with the other bats so far. It's only 4 games. It's only 3 games, so I'm not going to get too excited, but definitely liking what I'm seeing so far.
How happy is the Brewers pitching coach? Everybody's talking about the bats and not how bad his arms are. It's like, oof, yeah. I mean, still got to swing the bat, and they certainly did. Some of those pitches were pretty bad. The best pitcher they had was their position player who came in there in the 8th inning. He's the only one who got out of the inning.
I didn't know we were watching football on opening day because it was like 20-9 right? was one of the scores.
Yeah. All right.
So opening day
Debo, you got a baseball bet for us this week?
What do you got, Debo?
Yeah, sure do. I'm gonna go with my my Los Angeles Dodgers, whom I hate. We're going to take them on the run line. Glasnow is pitching up against Holmes for the Braves. I like this pitching matchup. Pretty much speaks for itself. I bet on the Braves tonight like an idiot, and I thought they were due. And they were 0-3 going into tonight. Padres are going for the sweep. I was like, it's really hard to sweep a team, any team, and a good team like the Braves, very hard to sweep. Sure enough, the fucking Padres swept them, and I'm now going to fade the Braves tomorrow. They're back. They just got 1 hit, and they're up against the best team ever assembled. So give me the Dodgers on the run line. Comes out to even money, -1.5. And then I got another one for you. We're gonna do the Twins. We're gonna do the Minnesota Twins on the run line against the White Sox in Chicago. You don't really need an analysis for this. The White Sox are just one of the worst teteams.
Yeah, except for opening day.
They beat up on the Angels. Yeah.
The Angels.
Yeah.
The Angels they're 1-2 opening day at home.
They still lost the series. White Sox still lost the series to the Angels.
Yeah. So those are the 2 worst teams in the league. So I'm just battling those.
The Rockies. I think the Rockies will be the worst, but just given the fact that they have to play the NL West. But give me Paddock against Perez. I like Chris Paddock. I've always liked Paddock. He's been one of the pitchers I've been riding the last few years, and he's on the bump tomorrow. So Twins on the run line -1.5, and Dodgers on the run line -1.5 as well. And the Twins odds is -105 for the run line.
All right. Bobby Betts, what do you got?
All right. So I've got a couple picks that are on Wednesday. So the lines aren't out yet, but I love these matchups. I have the Pirates versus the Braves. That's Paul Skeens is facing. Who's he facing? Peralta.
Matt Peralta.
The juice.
Daily
Um,
Juice.
so I like Skeens that matchup. I'm going to take Pirates on the money line. I'm going to parlay them with the Royals, which is Reagans versus Peralta. I like that matchup too. So I'm going to take Kansas City on the money line and Pirates on the money line.
Nice.
You should probably do first five because the Pirates will probably get walked off again.
They have been
I mean,
struggling
the
with their
first
bullpen.
three games. I don't think it's ever happened. Bobby sent me
Yeah,
this. That the first three games of a season, all three losses came on walk-offs.
yeah. So
That's unlucky.
I'm
And
going to
that's
say that
demoralizing.
Skeens is going to be the ace and just go the distance and just hold the bullpen that game and just hopefully score some runs for him because yeah, you're right. That was a mess.
Do first five.
First five.
Debo in his first five. He loves the first five bet.
He does love first five.
If you like the pitching matchup, I don't see why not.
All right, well, I've got one for you. On Tuesday, Texas, nasty Nate Evaldi going against Carson Spires for the Reds. Nasty Nate, he didn't get the win opening day. He looked really good. I watched that whole game. He's pitching great. He's always a guy I ride with strikeouts too, if for a player prop. So if you see him around 5 or 6, you might want to take that as well. He had some good stuff. So I'm taking Evaldi and Texas. Texas is going to be a good team this year. They had an off year last year, but they're looking a little bit back. Garcia's been trouble at the plate. He's been hitting some rockets out there. So, all right, any other picks, fellas?
That's all I got.
It's the NBA tomorrow. I lean Rockets plus 5.5 in Los Angeles. They are coming off a back-to-back. But give me the Rockets as long as everyone's healthy and getting a start. Rockets plus 5.5 tomorrow against the Lakers in LA.
Nice.
All right.
I think we're good. Next week we may get one in before probably get one in the weekend. So we'll get one in for the championship for March Madness. We'll have some new picks for you for baseball coming up, and get you some player props. Look at the IG. We'll throw some stuff out there as well.
Love it.
All right.
Love it. You guys.
Peace out, everybody.
Hey.
Later, boys.